So I the YouTube video is always available for you for whatever you need it for.
Right.
Um, I don't know who watches these videos because if there's a way for me to know, then I don't know how to do it because you know how me and technology, we're just barely friends. So I kind of know how to work it. But I would love to know who does watch it because my videos will have like 14 views or 16 views. You know,
Mhm.
that's kind of an average number. And so that's exciting that people are watching
Uh-huh.
them. I got on my playlist, the tutorials playlist that has the individual videos for each movement and part, as well as the whole movement, set of movement videos. And some of those have like 300 views. So that's really
Yeah.
exciting. So
Mhm.
I just always want to remind you that those videos are there for you to use however you need to use them.
Okay.
Mark Ed in. That's my superstar morning class. I always have a good turnout in the mornings. I guess by the afternoon, people are just taking these naps. Do y'all get that nappy feeling about 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon? Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm
I
such,
just told
I'm
you.
such a morning person, like I get up and I'm raring to go. And so 2 or 3 o'clock, it's a circadian rhythm thing. And it's the same, like 2 or 3 o'clock in the middle of the night. Like if you were to have a slumber party and you were trying to stay up all night long, that 2 or 3 o'clock hour would be the hardest one to push through. And that's the circadian rhythm of our bodies. And so in the afternoons, between 2 and 3 o'clock, that's kind of that time whenever we get sleepy. If you're familiar with the like the culture in say Mexico, they have siesta in the afternoon. Now, I think we should have this in our country, a little siesta time where everything shuts down and the whole intention is to have a little bit of afternoon rest. But that no one's listening to me. If you're one of the 16 people that rewatches this video, if you have any pull to get us a siesta, get us a siesta. All right. Well, welcome to week 7 of our 16. So we're really, really close to our halfway point, and I'm really proud of the progress that we have made so far in learning our movements. And so always know that I'll step back and review. I was thinking Debbie was already here. Maybe she had to leave and come back. Um, we always go back and review. So once we learn it, we don't just leave it behind and expect you to know it from here on out. We always go back and review. We might go a little bit faster through it. So I rely on y'all to let me know if you ever need me to review something or if you have any questions, because I know sometimes seeing me on video is one thing, right? So you can see me, but maybe you just need to double check. Like Friday, my class with Nora, she was asking things like, is your knee bent when you do this? Or is your leg straight? Or where is your weight? There are some things that don't always translate, even though you can see me. You might not be able to tell really well. Obviously, you might not be able to tell where my weight is. And so I try to communicate as much as possible. But please always feel free to ask questions because I want you to get the information that helps you do the moves correctly. So let's get started first by closing our hands and getting our bodies warmed up. Do y'all feel a little bit of coolness in the air?
Yes.
Just a little bit. It's kind of nice. We've still had some 100-degree days, but that moment of coolness, and it's nice that my air conditioner gets a little bit of a break, because I've worried about her this summer. She's worked way too hard. She needs a break. She should get to pass the baton off to the heater, but maybe for a little while we can give both of them a break where we don't have to have the heater or the air conditioner, right? Wouldn't that be nice?
That'd be nice.
To have that just mid-range temperature. Yes, that would be nice.
Yes.
So some of you are getting really close to earning your t-shirts because you know if you're come to 11 of the 16 classes, you're considered a completer and you get to earn a t-shirt. Some of you have already earned one t-shirt and you're ready to earn another color. And so that's exciting to have repeaters as well. But we like for you to come to class so that we can give out t-shirts. You know, it's kind of hard to learn if you're not coming to class. So yes, you can rewatch the video, but there's just nothing like being able to have live questions. I take a painting class, and sometimes I have to watch the recording if the class is at a time when I'm doing something else. And there are times whenever I wish I could ask a question, but you can't do that on a recorded video. So live class is wonderful. All right, so we're getting in our stable stance. So that means our feet are about shoulder width apart. And I did push record, didn't I? That was my intention. Yes, I did. My feet are shoulder width apart. Actually, I like mine a little bit wider. And you find a place that feels very stable for you. So ways that you can tell if it's a very stable stance for you is stand here and now shift weight to one leg. And so can you shift weight to one leg and you feel like you can fully transfer that weight, and then to move the other leg, all you have to do is lift it up and move it. Or if your feet are too close together, you go to shift weight and you feel like you're going to fall over. So that may mean your legs are too close together. Or if you're way wide like this and you go to shift weight to one leg, you find that you're kicking off with that other leg to get the full weight transferred. That could mean that your legs are too far apart. So find your happy medium, that where you feel stable and able to transfer weight. Our knees have a slight bend, so we don't have our legs locked where constance. Yay, we have constance back too. So there's a slight bend in that knee that allows energy to flow. It also creating this habit in this stance, not just in Tai Chi class, but out in the world. When you have that soft bend, you can absorb impact if someone runs into you, and you're not going to fall over as easily as if you were to have locked joints. So soften those knees. It's not squatted down, it's just that slight bend in the knee. It's very soft. And then we think about our posture where we're upright, but our shoulders are relaxed. We're not holding our shoulders up, our shoulders are relaxed, and our posture is upright where it's like a string that pulls up and down at the same time. We're just very strong in our stance. See the soft bend even in my elbows. So now we're in our stable stance. Let's begin with our warm-ups. Oh, I need to get us our Tai Chi music. That kind of sets the tone, doesn't it?
That's right.
I love that music. I don't want it to start playing. Oh, it's on. When I go to the gym in the morning, and on Tuesdays and Thursdays I go to the gym, sometimes I'll be listening to some crazy music. Not Tai Chi music. It's get me pumped up music. It's mostly inappropriate. But that's beside the point. We got our Tai Chi music going. Let's start with our warm-ups. Beginning with our neck, we bring our hands up, palms down, turn and pull them towards our chin and chest, push away from our bodies, and then follow our hands all the way down, chin towards our chest, feeling a slight stretch in the back of our necks. Slow, smooth, continuous is the name of our movement control. That's our principle that we follow with the pace of our movement. Slow, smooth, and continuous, which is sometimes difficult to transfer from the outside world where everything is in a hurry to come into this class where we slow down. So let yourself slow down. Our next neck exercise, we follow that hand as we look towards the shoulder. We don't go as far as we can go. We go until we feel that slight stretch and come back to the front. Switch hands. I want to remind you to breathe. Check in with yourself to make sure you're not holding your breath. So some of your necks may not turn very far, and that's okay. Start where you are and start working towards a more flexible neck, and that helps with daily living activities to be able to turn your head. All right, for our shoulders, we're going to roll our shoulders forward. Small circles. My hands are on the side of my legs, and I'm thinking about the size of a quarter. Drawing those circles on the sides of my legs. And now rotate those shoulders back. Very small movement. Remember, our goal here is to warm up our major joints from head to toe. Really, our neck to ankle, because our head is in a joint. And we don't do movements for our toes. Our toes are joints for sure. All right, shoulder circle. Inhale up, turn, and push down as you exhale. Great movement for practicing breath. Just remind you to continue breathing throughout our movements. And if you want to practice diaphragmatic breathing, or those deep breaths and complete exhales, this is one of those movements that you can just sit with or stand. I like to sit and breathe because then I can just let the chair support me. Thinking about breathing in calm and breathing out stress. Breathing in what I can control and breathing out what I can't. You know, we can come up with all kinds of words to enter here, but choose whatever serves you, whatever's on your mind right now. And let that movement be paired with words, be self-fulfilling. All right, for our spine. So we grab our ball, our imaginary ball, our hands are facing each other. We're going to separate the heavens and the earth. Doesn't that sound powerful? We're going to push one hand towards the ground, keeping that soft bend in your elbow, and the other follows the spine and then pushes up above your head. So I'm thinking about my spine stretching, but I'm not fully extending those arms because this is a spinal stretch, not an arm stretch. Come back to my ball and then switch, and the other hand pushes up and the other hand pushes down. So if you have limitations in your shoulder, this may be difficult for you. Or some people have one shoulder that's frozen and doesn't work. So in that instance, you can stay small right here at your ball and then have like the stretchy string. Stretch that string while you're thinking about that spine stretch. Switch and here. So you can have all the mobility of your shoulder and still do the stretchy string to stretch your spine movement. It's just whichever works best for you. Listen to your body. Try both. Think about that spine stretch, not your arms stretching. One more on each side. Back to center with our ball. Hand on top tells us the direction. We're turning our torso, switching, and then coming back across. So our body is moving our hands. This is the movement that is like our waving hands in clouds movement, in that it's a torso movement, not a hand movement. In that the hand that's on top directs us which way to turn. I want you to also think about your armpits and if they're open. So I'm holding this ball out away from my body, not here. Let Miss Iris in and check her in. Didn't check out. Ali in. Who else do I have? Okay. So, side to side. It's away from my body, not at my body. And you feel the difference in that you have some breathing room. Your armpits can breathe side to side. So remember this movement as we go today and practice our waving hands in clouds. Okay, I'll remind you of it, but this is what I'm talking about. Hands to our side. Now let's think about our hips. This is where we enter our lower body warm-up movements, where it gets more challenging. So if you have some problems holding balance on one leg, have a chair near you that's stable. Have a table. This table here is not going anywhere. This wall here, you know, I have some things that I can rely on just in case. But we're going to start shifting weight to one leg. So shift weight to one leg. We place our heel out and our hands are back. We pause in the middle, and then our toe is back and hands forward. Don't forget to breathe. Heel forward, hands back. Pause in the middle, and toe back. And if you're relying on a chair or a table or even the wall to support you, skip the hand movement. or skip moving both hands, but do what you can do to do this leg movement fully. Shift the weight. Shifting weight and holding weight on one leg is how we can get our muscles strong and stable so that it supports our bodies and helps keep us from falling. And you may find that one side is easier than the other. That just tells you which side you need to work on. Or you may have a pain in your hip or your knee that causes things to be more difficult. So listen to your body. Make the adjustments that you need to make to take care of you. Our goal is to be strong, but of course our goal is to not fall, first and foremost. Now let's shift our weight to one leg as our hands go in the direction of that weight shift, and then we tap that toe out and bring it back. Switch our hands, shift, and tap.
Good-handed person wall.
Keep your body upright. Don't lean into that weight shift. There's a tendency to want to lean with that movement. There's also a tendency to want to do too much with your hands. So you see my hands are stopping at the edge of my body or the edge of my frame, and then I'm tapping. I'm not leaning and taking my hands way out here because that takes me towards falling. So keep your body upright. Don't try to do too much. I know our world forces us to think in that way, but in Tai Chi, we don't do too much. We keep things small. We keep it in our frame. Love to be reminded just how strong my legs are as I transfer weight. Now for our knees, we have our loose fist down by our hips. I'm going to shift weight to one leg, and I'm going to lift the other and tap that toe out, punch the opposite arm. Bring it back, shift, take your time, lift, tap and punch. So I'm tapping that toe out in the air. I'm hovering it in the air. You may touch the ground if that feels comfortable for you. You may lift your leg a little bit higher. That bend in your knee really does help keep your balance in this instant because it lowers your center of gravity. We talked a lot about that in the Friday class with how surfers and wrestlers and boxers lower their center of gravity by bending their knees, widening their stance, and helping them be more stable. Other knee exercise. Shift. Step out. Both feet flat on the floor as I shift some weight forward, bringing it back. Remember to keep the body upright. Don't lean into the weight shift. You may can hear me breathe as I fully inhale and blow that air out through pursed lips. Remember keeping that body upright. Keeping those fists loose. We're not squeezing our hands because that would create tension, and we're a no tension zone in Tai Chi. Now for our ankles, shifting weight to one leg and heel toe, rocking that foot. Now, if you missed a few weeks ago, we had a seated Tai Chi class. So if you're interested in that, it wasn't October, because October wasn't weeks ago, was it? It was September the 9th. If you want to go back and look at the class on YouTube, the AM and the PM class on September 9th were seated Tai Chi. So if you want to learn seated Tai Chi, check that out. And if you're seated here today and have any questions, let me know. If you need guidance on how to do any of this seated. I started doing the same movement again, but our next ankle warm-up is big toe, little toe. So side to side. So hopefully with this movement you let go some of the tension that you may have in that ankle joint and work on the flexibility of it. We take for granted the strength or weakness of our ankles and how it can help us stay upright. So if you've ever twisted your ankle or turned your ankle and your ankles are weak, then you know that you're more likely to fall. So we spend this time to really try to make our ankles mobile, flexible, and strong. And it's a joint we kind of forget about. So I'm here to remind you about it. All right, so those are our warm-ups. We give ourselves a little shake and we're ready to go into our basic 6 movements. So I told you that we would spend a couple of weeks making sure we feel really comfortable with this. And so next week, if y'all think we're ready, we can dive into our advanced movements. But I really want you to feel good about these basic 6. The basic 6 movements are what Dr. Lamb uses for seated Tai Chi. And then, of course, the basic ones are the movements that are evidence-based to help us with arthritis and falls prevention. So here we go, starting with commencement. And I'm going to do mirror image. So when I say right, this is my right. When in actuality, it is my left. So if your brain is like mine and that's confusing to you, don't worry, I will turn around in just a second. But I just want you to see what's going on up front so that when I turn around and you can't see, then you at least have seen it mirror image. So here, let's go with commencement. We start in our stable stance. Our hands begin beside us. We're going to bring our hands up, facing each other. And when we bring them down, we shift right. We place that left foot out. Remember, we use an empty step. We don't give weight to a foot. We always empty step. We bring our hands in and up. Now that foot is ready for weight. I shift left as my hands go out. Right foot forward. Hands come back. And when my hands come back, I even out that weight on both feet. And then I open and close. Single whip. I shift left. I place my foot right out, putting me into a staggered stance. And when I push my hands out, that's when I give weight to that front foot. So I have weight on both legs right now. Turning my hands and separating my eyes and head, follow my left hand. Waving hands in clouds. I shift left. I bring my right hand and right foot back. My eyes are still on that left hand. Waving hands in clouds, and we're following the words that are on the wall behind me. I step, I switch, and turn. Shift, step, switch, turn. Shift, step, switch, turn. Shift, step, switch, turn, shift, step, switch, turn, shift, step, switch, turn. Now come to the middle for open and close. Now single whip to the left. I shift right. Step left, putting me into that staggered stance. Shift that weight to that front foot as my hands go out. Turn, separate, my eyes and head follow my right hand. Shift right, bring that left foot, left hand back, waving hands in clouds. Step, switch, our 4 words, turn, shift, step, switch, 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 turn, and to the middle for open and close. Close it out. Those are our basic 6. Any questions? So for those of y'all who haven't been here in a few weeks, then that's our new moves that we have learned. And I also encouraged you to write and make your own cheat sheet, just like this, that has our 4 words on it. Step, switch, turn, and shift. And the little words are step, empty. So remember that when we place our foot, and I try not to say the word step, I try to say place, because when I say step, I automatically think the weight shift. But remember in Tai Chi, anytime we step, it's empty. So that's the word beside it, empty. Switch, and then the word to the side is change hands. Turn, which is our wave, because the move is called waving hands in clouds, but it's actually a turn. And then shift, meaning wait. Now step and shift are our lower body or our leg words, and switch and turn are our upper body or our arm words. This cheat sheet is great because it gets to be your brain. So as you practice this move in the beginning stages of learning it, then let your paper be your brain. I keep that there. I let it be my brain while I'm teaching, because sometimes my brain wanders about something else. So I let papers be my brain. I let papers be my brain. On the other side of this wall is papers that are my brain. I encourage you to even make a list of the names of the moves. So remember, you have access to things if you're interested, but this is a poster that has all the moves on it. And if you wanted to make a list just that has the names of the moves. So to say commencement, open and close, single whip, right, waving hands, right, open and close, single whip, left, waving hands in clouds, left, open and close. So writing that on a piece of paper, putting it on the wall wherever you're practicing, and then you don't have to use your brain to think, oh gosh, what's next? Which way am I supposed to go? You can write all the information you want to. When you're practicing, you could go as slow as you need to get your brain caught up with what your body needs to do. But cheat sheets are so helpful in the beginning stages of learning. So don't feel bad to have cheat sheets.
That's right. They helped me in high school.
That's right. That's how we got
So
through it,
perfect.
huh? So thankfully, there's actually no test in our class. But I know you're here to learn, and I'm trying to give you different ways that can help you, that have helped me over time, and things that I still use. Okay, so if you don't have any specific questions, I'm going to turn around and talk you through that slowly, just like I did that time. And then after that, we'll practice without all the talking, okay? So when we take away the talking, that's when maybe questions will come up. So, because when I kind of leave you blind and you go, oh gosh, what am I supposed to do? Because I didn't tell you what you were supposed to do. That's when you know, hey, that's where I need to work. All right, so let me turn around. Now I'm not mirror image. So when I say right, I'm righting it. When I say left, I'm lefting it. So I find this easier to follow, but I know that you needed to see it from the front. Okay, so here we go from the top in our stable stance. We're breathing. We're reminding ourselves of our principles, specifically slow, smooth, continuous. Specifically, empty step before the weight transfer. Those are the two that probably go through my mind the most. Also, upright posture, or if I feel any tension, I notice it and then release the tension. It's all about body awareness. So here we go from the top, and I'm going to talk you through it. And begin. Let's bring our hands up, facing each other. Down, shift right. Place left, hands come in and up. Shift left as they go out. Right foot forward, hands come back, open and close. Single whip. Shift left. Place right. Push as I adjust weight. Turn and separate. Eyes follow that left hand. Shift left. Bring that right foot, right hand back. Waving hands in clouds.
Now.
Step. Switch. Turn. There's our 4 words. Shift. Step. Switch. Turn. Shift. Step. Switch. Turn. Shift. Step. Switch. Turn. Shift. Step. Switch. Turn. Last one. Shift. Step. Switch. Turn. And we come back to the middle for open and close. Single whip. Shift right. Place left. Push as I adjust weight. Turn and separate. Eyes follow that right hand. Don't forget to separate both, not just the one your eyes are looking at. Shift right. Bring that left foot, left hand back. Now we're ready for our series again of step, switch, turn, shift, 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 step, switch, turn, and to the middle for open and close. Close it out. One thing I'm really proud of myself in that, and you may not have thought about it for yourself, but we talked about a couple weeks for you to practice Tai Chi walking. So that's what we were doing in that waving hands and clouds, where we shifted, placed the foot, shifted, step, shift, step, shift, step. So we're Tai Chi walking. And I wanted you to practice Tai Chi walking. So Tai Chi walk to the left. We're doing mirror image. Until you get to a wall or where you can't go anymore. And then Tai Chi walk to the right. But practice Tai Chi walking. Now when we do waving hands and clouds, we're doing 6. We have 6 steps or 6 turns, whichever one you want to count. But when you practice Tai Chi walking, don't worry about the numbers. What you're practicing is foot placement. Is how far of a step did I take? And then how did that affect the weight shift and that following step? So I just demonstrated too far of a step, because what did I have to do? Kick off before I could bring this foot over. But something I noticed when I was doing that waving hands and clouds was, oh, my foot placement was good, because I could shift the weight and then simply lift and place that foot. Shift the weight, lift and place. So I was really rocking foot placement. I never felt like my feet were too close together or too far apart. I never felt myself kick off so that I could fully transfer the weight. Because why? I practice the step spacing so much that it's second nature. Does that mean I always get it right? No. Typically, I get it wrong when I'm teaching and I'm trying to demonstrate and I go extra big so that you'll see it. Because if it's a big step, it's easier for you to see than if I just slightly make a step. So sometimes I'll catch myself in teaching taking too big of a step so that you see it. But I felt it every single time. That foot placement was right on the perfect placement as I shifted weight, lifted, and follow step. So I want you to get there and practice too. So if you still need to continue to practice your Tai Chi walking from side to side so that you're stable in your waving hands and clouds, then let's do that. All right. The only way we get better at this is practice. So that's what we're going to do the rest of the time. We're just going to go through our moves. If at any time you have a question, please ask me. You're welcome to interrupt me. You're not going to bother me one bit. That's what I'm here for, is to answer questions if you have them. All right, so let's just practice. I'm going to call out the names of the movements as we go through our basic 6. And commence. Open, close. Single whip to the right. Waving hands and clouds to the right. Here's our 4 words. There's our 4th one. We got 2 more. Open, close. single whip to the left. Waving hands in clouds to the left are 4 words. Remember, there's 6. 6 steps or 6 turns, however you want to count it. I like to count turns because the turns are after the step. Open, close, and close it out. All right, and again. Commence. Open, close. Single whip. Waving hands in clouds. Open, close. Single whip. Waving hands in clouds. Open, close, sorry. Close it out. So you may or may not have noticed something, that I was stepping and switching at the same time. Then I would turn and then I would shift. So there's several ways you can do that waving hands in clouds movement. You can do it one at a time. You can step, then switch your hands, then turn, then shift the weight. Or you can step and switch at the same time. This is what these little brackets are, to combine those two together in the name of continuous of our principles in movement control. But step and switch, I noticed I was doing that at the same time. You can turn and shift at the same time, but typically I turn and then I shift. And let me talk about that a little bit more. So in waving hands in clouds, so I'm coming from that single whip and I'm going to waving hands in clouds to the right. So watch, I step and switch at the same time. And so when I step, I'm giving no weight to that right leg. All the weight is on this left foot while I switch my hands. And now I'm going to turn. Now as I'm turning, that weight is still on this left foot. When I get to the end of that turn, then I shift the weight. So then I step and switch at the same time. Now my weight's on my right leg, right? So I turn, and then when I get to the end of that turn, then I shift. Now the reason why I turn is so that I can really think about these core muscles and tightening this core, involving the muscles in the front of my body, in the back of my body, And when these core muscles are strong, then it helps keep us upright and helps keep us from falling. And so I intentionally engage all of these muscles in my turn. So when I turn, these muscles are tight. I'm thinking about like a straw that sticks out of my belly button, and it's pointing in that corner, and I'm pushing that straw to point towards the other way. So I'm thinking about the strength of my core to turn. And so if I'm focused on the strength here, then for me, it's too much to also shift the weight. It takes my focus off engaging core. So that works better for me. But what you can do too is, yes, your core is engaged because you're upright. You have to be engaging your core to be upright. That's what these muscles are doing. So you can turn and shift at the same time. Your muscles are engaged, but not like when you turn and then shift. So that's just a personal preference of what my focus is on. So yes, you can step and switch. So you can do that one at a time. Step and then switch. Turn and then shift. Step, switch, turn, and then shift. So you can do one of those words at the time, or you can try to practice step and switch at the same time. No weight there, all the weight still on this leg as I turn and then shift. Step, switch, turn, shift. Step and switch, turn, shift. So play around with what works best for you in combining those movements. The goal is slow, smooth, and continuous. And so that's why we kind of combine the movements at the same time. But if it makes better sense to you now in these beginning stages to do one at the time, that's why we have that cheat sheet. So we can go, okay, I stepped, now what do I need to do? Okay, I need to switch my hands. Okay, now what I need to do? I need to turn. And if you don't want to think too much about your core right now, that's okay. As long as you're turning, you are engaging core muscle, you just might not be focused on those core muscles. So I try to give you a goal to work towards, and then permission to be where you are right now. Any questions before we just practice again?
Yeah, I have a question.
Okay.
Is it a good sign if I can feel my stomach muscles and my back, lower back?
It's not hurting.
No, I just can tell,
You feel it. I mean, you pushing yourself to the side. I mean, it's kind of a dramatic, because obviously you don't need a whole lot of muscle to turn from side to side. But the more you engage muscle, the stronger it's going to get. When you use your muscle, it's going to get strong. And so we engage it and hold our bodies upright and get in the practice of allowing our muscle to support us and not just kind of be sloppy into our spine and putting pressure on our joints. We let our muscles be strong. So that really is the premise behind why Tai Chi works in helping relieve pain from arthritis. So arthritis, I mean, there's hundreds of types of arthritis, but one of the most common types of arthritis is osteoarthritis, and that's from wear and tear on your joint. And so imagine that the muscles that support your joints, imagine they're weak. That puts more pressure on that joint. And if there's more pressure on that joint, and it could be from weight or it could be from weak muscles, but if there's more pressure on that joint, then you may have more pain and more inflammation. And so our goal is to make muscles strong and support our bodies in a way that puts less pressure on our joints. And then we'll have less pain and inflammation from the arthritis. So that's kind of the premise of how Tai Chi works. Another way that Tai Chi works for arthritis, specifically rheumatoid arthritis. Now, rheumatoid arthritis is an autoimmune disease. And so that is your immune system trying to attack you. And if our levels of stress are high, then it beats down our immune system. And stress can be caused by all kinds of different things. And so if we utilize Tai Chi to breathe, and like I was telling you in the warm-up, where we inhale calm and exhale stress, or we inhale what's worrying us, and or what we inhale that it's going to be okay, and then exhale whatever's worrying us. Use those words of affirmation to think about stress and letting it go. And just the nature of deep breathing is relaxing to our nervous system. And so when we help our bodies be relieved of stress, then we're less likely to be sick. And so if rheumatoid is autoimmune, then we use Tai Chi to relax and not allow ourselves to be stressed or taken over by stress. Then that can help from the flare-ups of that autoimmune disease, rheumatoid arthritis. And so those are just two common forms of arthritis. And really the wear and tear of our joints is what's real. Our bodies weren't made to last forever. God didn't intend us to last forever. And so we, as we age, depending on what our life has brought to us, we've had various wear and tear of our joints. And so, if you can tell our dumb selves at 20 to not do things to take better care of our bodies, we would benefit from it 50 years later, wouldn't we? But we were dumb when we were 20. We did things that probably hurt our bodies. So we wore and tore that body up. And now we are dealing with what we have done to our bodies. I speak to this bunion that's on this left foot. Oh, I thought I was so cute in my 20s wearing those shoes, heels, and I was too cute. Well, I didn't have a bunion then, but guess what I have now? A bunion. So I deal with the consequences of my choices, and if only we could tell our 20-year-old selves to take better care of our bodies so our joints would be happy with us as we age. So now we just do the best we can do, and Tai Chi is just great for that. And so I don't think that's something that I really have addressed in this class as to how or why this works for the ailment that sometimes arthritis brings us. But that's why. And that's why weight transfer is so important. That's why that upright posture in a stable stance is so important, because our weight is evenly distributed to our joints, versus if we're off a little bit, then it puts pressure on one joint, where we want to be upright and even so that the pressure is even and it's not put on just one. If you have a problem, I know this from the other week when I had my problem with my foot. I was walking some kind of weird way, and it was putting pressure on this hip joint because of the way I was having to walk. And so this hip had to brunt a lot more of the force of my walking. And guess what hurt? My hip. So I was relieving the pain from my foot, but I was causing pain on my hip. And so that's why that boot was so nice, is because it kept my foot walking a little more normally. The pressure was in a different place than what was hurting, and it took the pressure off of that hip joint. So sometimes we have a pain somewhere. We're trying to do the best we can with that pain, and we're causing ourselves another pain by not holding ourselves in a way that is supportive of our whole body. So just think about that as you move through life. We have different aches and pains, right? We're doing the best we can.
That's cool.
Depending on what you eat, you may have more inflammation and flare-ups. And just pay attention to your body, because what causes your body to be inflamed may be different than mine. I know if I go to that Chinese sushi, if I buy sushi, okay, and I like it, but I know that next day my hands are going to be so swollen I can't use them as good. I'm going to hurt in my joints if I eat sushi. So pay attention to what foods cause you to have inflammation. Doesn't mean you can't have them, but you know that's the consequence. May be limited to how often you have it. So dairy is often a big allergy for people. They don't realize it, but that may be causing you problems with inflammation. And so inflammation is arthritis, or arthritis is inflammation. I said it backwards. Arthritis is inflammation. So if it's food that can cause our arthritis to flare up, then we want to take those foods out of our bodies and not have those things. It just goes to paying attention to your body. Have I lectured y'all enough today?
That's
It was good information.
That's good.
I needed that.
Good.
I'm not meant to shame you or make you feel bad, because I promise you, I'm still going to have sushi at least once a month. I just know I'm not going to feel good in my joints that next day. So sometimes we deal with the consequences, but we got to be aware of our bodies and how to better take care of it. All right, so let's cool down by giving ourselves a nice fist massage. Our legs work so hard for us, and we appreciate our legs. We appreciate them the most when they don't work, because we realize how much we rely on them. That's how I felt when my foot was hurt. I'm like, good gracious alive, I miss my life. And so thank our legs when they're working good, because we appreciate them when they're not working right.
That's right.
All right, gather tension and then let it go. Gather and release. Gather and release. One more time. We don't want to live with tension. We want to recognize it, let it go. Shoulder circle, push down. Inhale and exhale. One more. Now we have our right fist loose. We don't squeeze our hands, representing our strength. Our left fingers together, representing our friendship. Our thumb in our humility. And we put those together in mutual respect. We say namaste.
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 So y'all, your homework is to really practice that waving hands in clouds movement. Get really comfortable with that. And if y'all think y'all ready next week, then we'll dive into our advanced 6 movements. We're not in a rush. We just start and we review and we push and pull back. But y'all got this, okay?
Okay.
If y'all need me, let me know, okay?
Okay.
All right, love
Okay.
y'all.
Love you too.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye bye.